Hey people, it is Tuesday, March the 29th, and the time is 12:38 in the afternoon, and it's currently -1 Celsius, and I'm standing here in front of the CN Tower with the South Core skyline behind me, and I'm with Mr. Johnny Strides, and we're going to be doing a walk starting from here.
Hey everyone.
Into City Place, and then after going through City Place, we will make our way up into the heart of downtown and start making our way westward.
To a destination not yet determined. But yes, I'm here with the Ken Continuum, or I guess Ken from the Ken Continuum. And he's got a channel on YouTube where he explores Toronto. You've probably seen this guy before.
I made a few appearances before on your channel, I think. At least one or two.
And we just recorded a walk that started at New City Hall in Nathan Phillips Square, and we went south through the financial district to the South Core district, and we ended up right here in front of the SkyDome and CN Tower. So if you want to see that, you can head over to his channel.
Yeah, it was fun. It was like a good 50-minute walk.
And now it's time for part 2.
We get the cool view looking straight down John Street.
You get the cool view, and I get the better weather for my portion.
Yeah, it's all of a sudden feels warmer and much sunnier.
So do we want to go?
Yeah, I've never gone down here before, you know? This is a first for me. I've gone that way, towards the Skywalk, but never gone this way.
So this is the rail corridor right next to us, and the SkyDome on the left. And there's the Marriott Hotel.
That's the hotel where you have views of the ballpark from your room.
Yeah, the room's on the other side, too. I don't know why you would stay on this side.
Well, this is the wrong side. This is the bad side. Yeah.
Back in the early 90s, my grandparents, every year, a few times a year, they would get a room. And we'd all go there and watch a game together from the room. It was pretty cool. And some of the Blue Jays were actually staying in the hotel.
Oh, wow.
There's a look back at the tower.
Oh, this is a cool view. I've actually never seen this before.
And there's some of the early City Place towers just on the right.
Yeah, I think those are among the first ones, right?
Yeah, and there's a new tower behind it, which is in between Spadina and Draper Street. I think we're going to walk alongside that.
Yeah, don't mind my squeaky boots.
Yeah, I was just about to say, I'm hearing there's a squeak and an echo.
Once we get into a more noisy area, hopefully that won't show up too much.
I'm not sure.
Here comes a train.
Rolling into Union Station from suburbia. Are those your normal walk-in video shoes?
No.
Yeah, you normally wear Chucks.
I normally wear my my Converse high tops. The good old Chucks.
But you thought for Johnny, we're going with the squeaky treatment.
I usually wear these when the weather is a bit colder.
You've also got the swishy jacket on too.
Yeah.
If I were to make a list of do's and don'ts for YouTube walk-in videos, you'd be
I
committing
know,
a
right?
few sins
I'd be
here.
breaking all the rules, you know. Even I was annoyed with myself after uploading a recent video. I was like, why is my jacket so noisy? You know, why is my boots making so much squeaky sounds?
Yeah, I've had a few videos ruined for that. I once had a squeaky belt and I couldn't figure out what it was, and I re-recorded the same walk like 3 times. And every time there was this like every step, and I figured out it was my belt buckle.
Oh, geez.
That was a new belt I bought from Winners, and I never wore it again.
This is another cool view looking down Blue Jay Way, right?
Yeah.
Like the canyon there is really
Blue
coming
Jays
along.
Way, and then it turns into Peter Street. Oh, look at this guy pedaling his.
Oh yeah?
I think those are the little T-Rex pedals too. They're really more of a decoration then.
Right? I don't think I've ever seen anyone pedaling one of those before. It looks kind of funny. Yeah.
So we're going to be working our way over to the other side of the rail corridor, but first we're going to head along Bremner Boulevard and then Fort York Boulevard. It becomes Fort York once we cross Spadina. Have you recorded this area recently on your channel?
Not too recently, no. No. Trying to think. I think I went through the Fort York neighborhood maybe like a month ago or so, but I didn't go right through the heart of, well, I guess I kind of did go through part of City Place. So maybe a month ago or so, I did part of the area.
And you know what? I think Bremner Boulevard might be closed to the right here. So let's stay on this part.
These are going to be a couple of tall buildings here.
Isn't this where the Signature Tower was originally planned to be?
Yeah, and I think these will still be the tallest buildings in City Place. It's called Canada House. It'll be 2 towers.
But back when they unveiled this project, there was a centerpiece tower called Signature Tower.
Right. Well, there's a rendering. You can see they're called Canada House because the balcony design has a maple leaf sort of embedded into the building. You can see the Canada maple leaves.
It kind of perhaps spares an otherwise bland design.
Yeah. And this part here is just the podium. Like, it's a massive podium.
And they took over the tower at Gerrard and Yonge Street. Concord did.
Yeah.
That's going to be called the Sky Tower now?
Yep. Or Concord Sky.
Concord Sky.
Concord Sky. And it looks like it's maybe going to start soon because the equipment has been showing up on site. But,
Well, it's already been excavated.
yeah. We got the beautiful Toronto scaffolding,
Can't get enough of that.
one of the main features for tourists in the city.
So let's see if my hunch was right. I thought this part of Bremner was closed. And I thought incorrectly.
Okay. Well, that's good for us.
So how do you plan or determine what walks you're going to go on or what routes you'll follow?
Most of the time I don't have any plan whatsoever. I just think, where haven't I gone recently? And I think, okay, I'll go there because it's been at least a couple of months since I've been there. And then I think last time did I walk east or west? And then this time I'll walk in the opposite direction that I walked last time. And maybe on the other side of the street, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes I just make it up as I go along. Literally, I just have no route planned.
You've had some fairly creative ones lately, though.
I'm trying to do something.
Favorite buildings
different.
and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
yeah. Well, like the hotel one and the condo one. And I don't know, I might be wrong, but I might have started a little trend because I started doing some videos where it was like from one well-known destination to another well-known destination. And I did a few of those, like from, you know, SkyDome to Dundas Square, from Old City Hall to, you know, another well-known like St. Lawrence Market or something like that. And then I noticed Action Kids started doing a couple videos like that, like Chrysler Building to Empire State Building, you know?
I talked to him about that last year.
Yeah?
And because of that conversation, I think I did a CN Tower to City Hall walk.
Oh, okay, yeah. So sometimes people who do what we do just come up with the same ideas at the same time just because we think alike, you know, when we're trying to come up with content, right? So.
Did you ever have a bit of writer's block, so to speak, where you're like, oh.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
I've had that where every walk I consider, it's like, oh, I did that a month and a half ago.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah, that happens.
I did Gerrard Street yesterday from Gerrard and University over to East Chinatown. And I had this feeling that I had done that recently, but it turns out it had been like 6 or 7 months. So.
Oh, well, that's long enough, yeah.
But sometimes I live stream something or I cover it on like a bike ride or an e-scooter stream. So in my mind, I've done it recently, but I haven't actually. So
Kind of makes you realize that even though Toronto is a huge city, when you're doing what we do, it's not as big as it could be, you know?
especially if you're downtown centric.
Yeah.
Like downtown is not a huge area, right?
But
The
luckily,
lake
it's interesting enough and things change fast enough that it doesn't take long for like a walk that you did a few months ago to look a lot different, you know, the next time you do it.
We're currently in the City Place neighborhood. And this has to be one of my favorite walks to make at twilight in the city. Whereas if you turn around, you've got the CN Tower that you're walking towards and it lights up quite nicely. So pretty much from Bathurst Street all the way to Spadina, you get the CN Tower in the backdrop that you're walking towards.
And you know what? People like to bash City Place, but I don't think it's so bad. I mean, the buildings are a little bland sometimes, but some of them are kind of cool.
It's been called like a modern St. Jamestown or Regent Park.
Right. But
I'm not
if you
so
walk,
sure that'll be the case.
walk through here on a nice day when the weather's warm, and there's plenty of people walking around, and there's quite a nice selection of restaurants and retail and things like that.
There's Canoe Landing. That's got to be an artificial surface to the south. Look how green and perfect it looks.
Yeah.
There's a public school.
Yeah. I think there's 2 different schools in the
There's
neighborhood.
a few supermarkets here.
Yeah, there's several. So I think for what it is, it's not bad at all, you know. And if you want a more traditional urban environment, it's just a 10-minute walk.
My only complaint would be the sort of sameness of it all. I kind of wish they chopped it up and handed out different plots of land to different developers.
Yeah.
You still could have had someone overseeing it to make sure it was cohesive.
Yeah, like when it's all one company, it does get a little samey.
Well, I just watched a video on Wendover Productions, which is an awesome YouTube channel, and why so much of America looks the same.
Oh.
And Canada. You pretty much see the same buildings everywhere. It's the same franchises.
Is that an urban planning channel? Or?
He covers that on a number of topics. It's not as hardcore as like City Beautiful or Not Just Bikes.
Right.
It's a bit more broad, but
Right.
it's an excellent video. It's kind of like if I wasn't doing this type of video and I was actually smart, that is the kind of video I'd want to do. And if I had editing skill.
Right?
So basically, I'm just a fan watching. You gotta stay in your lane sometimes.
Well, you must have picked up a few editing skills. I've seen you do your editing live streams.
I've switched software.
Yeah.
I edit on what the big boys edit on now.
Yeah, I don't.
iMovie?
iMovie, yep.
All right, let's go north up here on Dan Leckie Way.
Whoa,
Yeah, let's go get
nasty wind.
trapped on the median.
And the grass is a lovely shade of yellow here.
Yeah. So we're gonna go cross the rail tracks on this bridge. I think we can go safely. And they've got a 24-hour Timmy's.
Don't follow our example, kids.
Oh, I tend to point the camera away when I do that. I'll conveniently pan it to the side.
Right.
So we are 16 and a half minutes in. Ken's video was pretty long. It was about 54 minutes.
I guess that's good if I intend on premiering it. I think premiere videos are better when they're longer.
Yeah, I think around 30 to 40 minutes in is when they start to get the most momentum.
Yeah.
Oh, we got another GO train rolling in, but we're gonna miss it. Is this where a rail deck park was proposed?
Yeah.
So there's this grandiose idea that we could put a lid over the rail yard here and turn it into a big urban park.
Yeah, I don't think that's happening anymore. Not in the full grand scale that they initially
The
had
price tag would be
planned.
in the billions.
Yeah. There might be a sort of downsized version of it in some way or another.
Well, it could have been John Tory's legacy, but instead I guess it'll be Smart Track.
Right. And those new condo towers are looking pretty neat, I think. The glass is nice anyway.
It's different than the usual shade. So traditionally it's been the Gardner Expressway, which is just to the south of here, and the railway that's kind of divided downtown along the south end. But things like this bridge are reconnecting it.
I remember this bridge was used in an episode of Orphan Black. I was a fan of that show.
And not just Bikes did a video on how poorly the GO train system is run by having all these trains parked here when they could be deployed for regular service.
Yep.
Basically, the GO Transit serves suburban commuters when it could be a more frequent, more reliable kind of way to get in and out of the city and connect the various regions around the GTA. But it's really more geared towards that office worker who's coming downtown. It uses like a hub and spoke. Everyone goes into Union.
Everyone goes back out again. Yeah. I think RM Transit has a lot to say about that.
He's got some pretty wild ideas on his channel. It's cool to see a Toronto-based transit channel. Obviously he covers transit in general, but a lot of it is kind of Toronto-centric in his examples.
Yeah, I think it's probably one of the most popular transit channels on YouTube, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
and it's grown like crazy.
yeah.
When I met him to do our collab, I had the bigger channel, and now he is way bigger.
I noticed, yeah, he's going to hit 100,000 soon.
Not quite Autoloc's explosion level. That guy hit the jackpot. But
Yeah, he's lost a lot of subscribers though since the convoy
Yeah.
ended. But he already got his
silver
play button. I guess they can't take it back if the channel falls below 100,000.
Well, there's been kind of a subscriber purge too. My subscribers dipped for a while. They got rid of them.
Still kind of
Steady?
Well, what I think is happening is when we did the convoy live stream, you know, I got like 700 new subscribers just from that one live stream, right?
And then they come back a week later and they're like, what the hell is this?
Yeah, over time they've just been gradually unsubscribing because they're not interested in the regular content of my channel, right?
Yeah. And this is the foot of Portland Street, which is a pretty cool, interesting street. But we're going to be heading over to Draper.
There's a garbage smell in the air here.
Ooh, it stinks.
Oh, that's why. Ew. There's the smell right there. Yep. It is nasty.
It is not pleasant.
No.
And we can probably cross now, but Numbnuts, the truck driver here, has decided to block everyone. Although I guess that's not really fair. I mean, that truck had no way of knowing when he started that turn.
No, it happens.
So this next street is kind of like a little slice of Cabbagetown in the most unlikely of spots. It kind of gives you an idea what this area used to be like way back when.
Wait, that's one with the wooden handles, right? Perfect. Yeah.
Have you been up Draper Street on your channel?
Yeah. Yeah, I went through there not all that long ago, actually. And I commented then that pretty soon the street is going to be completely hemmed in on all sides by tall buildings, but the street will remain protected. This little enclave of historic row houses surrounded by tall buildings.
Well, for the next several years, they're living in a pretty fierce construction zone.
Yeah.
All the homes have heritage plaques on them.
Yeah.
And I think these are like 1870s-ish. And there was one resident in particular who fought to save and protect this street throughout the 70s and 80s, I think.
Oh, wow.
If I had my notes on me, I could tell you who they were. Did they tear down a unit for this?
This one is from 1882. This one.
1883, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so I was off. And this one looks like it's leaning. But was this always a gap?
I think so.
I might have to go on Google Street View.
And there's going to be a little park type thing here. I think a cat themed park. You know how St. Louis Market has the dog theme park? I think there's going to be a cat themed park here.
That's neat.
Speaking of cats, there's a cat right there.
Meow. Not a lot of peace and quiet to be had on this very quaint little street.
Kind of reminds me a little bit of the opening of the Pixar movie Up.
Oh,
When
yeah.
that old man's house just got surrounded by tall buildings.
Now, did you see Turning Red?
I did, yeah. Yeah, I thought it was all right. I heard you tried to watch it, but you were unsuccessful.
I made about 20 minutes of it.
Yeah. I thought it was all right. There's a good payoff at the end, that's sort of like the climax of the movie.
I'll take
It's
your word
pretty-
for it.
It's pretty cool.
I couldn't get there.
It involves the SkyDome. And they actually call it the SkyDome because it was the SkyDome.
Still is.
Yes, that's true. And there's going to be a shopping center here at the well, kind of a fancy shopping center. I think this is looking pretty good, you know?
I like the stepped look, the red bricks.
Yeah.
It's quite a contrast to that new building right behind it. That is the well, right? That kind
The
of.
office tower?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's where Shopify's offices are going to be located.
Well, aren't they in Liberty Village right now?
I'm not sure where they are right now. Maybe they are.
And there is the Select Bistro. I remember going there for a lunch one day with my company.
Oh. That looks nice. Probably wouldn't be very nice atmosphere right now to eat outside on the patio with all this going on, though.
It certainly would not.
No.
Normally I try to make sure I have something in my stomach when I go and record, but all I had this morning was a bowl of cornflakes. And I came out and met you.
I haven't had anything yet, yeah. But I usually don't start eating till afternoon anyway. That's sort of the way my usual eating habits go. I start eating late in the afternoon, but I eat right up until bedtime. And then I go to bed on a full stomach, which people say you shouldn't do, but I do.
Yeah. Well, the whole concept of 3 meals a day is kind of man-made anyways. I always thought the well, I've mentioned this in prior videos, it reminds me a lot of the office towers you see in Asia.
Yeah.
You see a lot of buildings like that in Korea. Just that kind of design.
And some of those funky office towers in London's old financial district kind of have that look too.
Canary
Some of the newer
Wharf?
ones. Like there's the walkie-talkie building, right? And there's there's one called the Cheese Grater or something. I don't know. They all have funny names like that.
The Shard.
The Shard, yeah.
I watched a documentary on a guy who climbed the Shard recently.
Oh yeah.
Now let's just go. We gotta make our way east anyways.
Right.
So this is north up the west side of Spadina. I think end to end, this is one of the more interesting streets in downtown, from Bloor to the lake.
Yeah, for sure. And this is my favorite part of it, the southern, from Queen south is my favorite part. Even though Chinatown is north of there, which is a cool neighborhood for sure. I just like the look of this end of Spadina because of the buildings. They're pretty substantial for the most part. The old warehouse buildings
Yep.
and textile buildings.
The old fashion district.
Yeah.
I actually like the stretch north of the Daniels building too, going up to Bloor Street.
Oh yeah.
Like it's got a totally different feel. There's some old homes there. You have the U of T grad house.
Yeah.
And you also get this volume of people on Spadina that kind of makes you feel like you're somewhere.
Yeah.
Like it's a great street to record on.
There's usually lots of city noises. You're into that?
I remember one night we did a collaboration. I think it was a couple of live streams that we did and we came along this way.
Yeah.
You were live streaming and I was recording a video at that point.
Yeah. And then we parted ways. Yeah.
Rest in peace, awesome view of the CN Tower.
Yeah, that's another view gone.
Maybe we'll take this light since we're... Look at all these streetcars bunched up. I've said I was going to have more guests on my channel for walks like this, but I've really just had you.
Hasn't happened yet? Yeah.
I did that one with Bevy. I had RM Transit on.
This spring or summer, might be get something happening. What about Jerome Forestwood? That would be cool.
Yeah.
I've never heard him talk. Well, he talks at the beginning of his
He
video.
gives, yeah.
Yeah, but then he doesn't talk after that.
That's the way I used to do my intros.
Yeah. I remember.
I've made some innovations in this field.
Oh, for sure.
Because when I started, Action Kid was doing narrated videos and everyone else was just silent. So I was kind of like, huh, let's put a bit of a voice to this.
When I first started watching Action Kid, he was not narrating them. He was just doing silent walks.
Then I started doing the animated map. I didn't see anyone else doing that.
Yeah, I don't do that.
And now I do like the selfie style intro, which I didn't see anyone else doing.
Yeah.
I'm not taking credit for these things. It's just... It's good to change things. I need to get new channel art. It's been a while.
I haven't really changed much on my channel.
Yeah, you've had that same kind of Batman.
Yeah.
Well, what I'll do, I think I might make a contest out of it. I might commission some from Fiverr. You know that website where people sort of have a price on different work you can do. So you'll find graphic designers. So you'll pay someone $10, $15 to give you a design. So I might make a video out of that. Like find 4 or 5 people, send them my designs.
Yeah.
And then have like a vote. And people can choose which one they like, and that's what I'll go with.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
And if they intentionally choose the worst one, I will override that vote. I don't want to have a Bodie McBoatface on my hands.
So it's a vote, but maybe not really, you know? You'll just say it is.
Yep. Hey, here's Mama's Pizza. I remember Mother's Pizza. Do you remember that?
Yeah. Yeah, we had one in North Bay when I was a kid. I've never tried Mama's Pizza though, have you?
No, that's what I was thinking. Like, I've had Mother's Pizza.
Yeah.
Huh. haven't had Mama's pizza. All right, pick a path. Here or Queen?
Let's take here.
All right. We'll cross. So we are.
So I just did Queen during my live stream the other day.
Hey, you did a walk all the way across the western side of Queen, right?
Yeah, actually I did another Queen. I did Queen both live streams recently. Yeah, I did one walking the entire length of Queen Street West. That was fun.
From Queen and Yonge. Yeah, I was underneath you that time.
Yeah.
Well, in the subway, I remember.
Yeah.
Because I was going down to the South Court to film a video.
Yeah. And then just the other day with Megan, I went on Queen Street again. I like this stretch of Richmond Street here. It looks nice and closed in, and
The old fashion district.
yeah, you get that nice urban kind of feel here. Especially
Old
when
textile
you see these
warehouses.
new buildings popping up all around you. And that Toronto store is up here, right? What's it called? Spacing?
Oh,
It's like all Toronto related merchandise.
I was not aware of that.
Kind of a cool store. Yeah, check it out sometime. Like anything Toronto related that you might need, you'll find in there.
Anything.
Well, a lot of things. A lot of things.
I take things literally. That constant hum of machinery and trucks.
Yep.
I watched another video where one of the arguments people make against living in the city is that it's too noisy. Almost all the noise comes from cars.
True. Yeah,
Like cities would not be loud if you took away all the vehicles.
that's true.
You know what? You know where I'm going.
Burrito Boyz?
On Adelaide. This walk has a new final destination. I'm gonna go get myself a bean burrito.
Nice, nice.
I was thinking, I'm hungry. What's on the way?
I went there in one of my recent videos too. That was my
I saw that one.
my destination
Burrito walk.
for that video.
Was it this location?
Yep.
That guy was on an Apollo e-scooter. I'm kind of on the fence if I want to stream tonight on the e-scooter. Feels like my ears and face are going to get a little cold.
Yep.
I have been dying to try it, so we will see.
I wonder if these old row houses will eventually, you know,
I don't see heritage plaques, but I would assume they're protected.
they might end up being the last surviving old row of homes in the neighborhood. I think there's one other section that they're protected as part of a new development nearby. But that might be it other than that.
It's insane to think that this building's coming down.
I know.
I remember when it went up as the Paramount. And you had Republic nightclub here where Linen Chest is.
Yeah. More towers will go up here, I think 2.
Fried chicken. That's where Circa nightclub was. Toronto is probably never going to stop transforming at a rapid rate.
That's okay with me.
Well, with housing prices going the way they are, we'll probably both still be in our same apartments.
I know, right?
Like, I'm not letting go. As long as we don't have a premier who steps in and vanishes rent control. Oh, they would get hung in the town square if they did that at this point.
Yeah.
All right, let's go south here down to Adelaide. Here we are in the old clubbing district. There's still a few remnants of the past in this area. Have you ever been to the ballroom?
No, I don't think I've been to any of the clubs.
Well, this one's more of a bowling alley slash pub.
Even like in the 90s or 2000s, when I was still within the clubbing age, I never really bothered.
Well, these things started popping up when I was in Seoul for a while. I think in the late 2000 or late 2000 and what do you call them? 2000 to 2010. What is that decade called? The
I
knot?
just call it the 2000s.
But that's kind of describing the whole decade, isn't it? Like the 1900s?
Yeah, and then after
The O's?
2010, I call it the 2010s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, around 2008, 2009, these kind of trendy bowling alley bars started popping up where there'd only be like 6 lanes or 8 lanes.
Right.
And the focus was more on the bar experience, and I thought it was kind of cool. And sure enough, one of those popped up in Toronto.
There's a ping pong place too, right?
Spin.
Spin, yeah.
That's pretty much around the corner from here. You just make a right on King. And there is my favorite of the new condos in this area.
PJ condos.
I just really like the brickwork down by the base. And there's where the old office pub used to be. I think it was.
I remember years ago, like in the late 90s maybe, there was a Beatles themed store here, right in one of these
Oh, you would know that.
spaces. Yep. I made a trip to Toronto specifically from North Bay just to go there.
A store, not a bar?
Yeah, it was a store. It was all Beatles related merchandise.
And now it is east on the north side of Adelaide Street in the entertainment district. Well, there was Stone's Place in Parkdale that closed down. It was a Rolling Stones themed bar.
Oh yeah, I didn't know about that one. It's a bar, yeah?
Yeah. I think it closed down during the pandemic, actually.
That's one of those marijuana stores that thinks it's a nightclub.
A lot of them seem to think that.
I know, right?
They often have like bouncers out front.
I know.
Burger Lab. What's this deal here? Smash burger, fresh cut fries. 11. That's a pretty good deal. I remember walking by places that had signs like that during the pandemic, and I wasn't allowed to like go in and eat there. So I'm like, I don't want to stand out on the sidewalk and eat this food. This is something they did in Asia a lot. Just covering up the exterior of a construction site.
Yeah. Maybe they want to protect the glass. Like, I'm not sure why they're doing that here, but
I think it's just to keep the wind and the elements out of the areas. They might have like HVAC systems going in.
yeah. This building is looking good so far with the glass anyway.
Speaking of looking good, there's a building in about half a block or so that looks really good straight ahead on the left.
Scotia Plaza. Yeah.
The one with Burrito Boyz.
Oh, that one.
Here's Croc Rock.
I think somebody's hungry.
It's only fitting that if I'm doing a walk with Ken that it ends up at a Burrito Boyz.
Yeah, yeah.
And on that note, since we're almost there, I hope you enjoyed this one. Starting in front of the SkyDome and heading over through City Place and then making our way up north into the Fashion District and now Entertainment District. And if you wish to support the channel, there's links to my Patreon and YouTube channel membership in the description. I have an Instagram account at Johnny Strides. Ken also has a YouTube channel and an Instagram account.
That's right, check it out.
And you can see part 1 of this walk on his channel. But as far as part 2 goes, I'm about to sign off here.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks for watching. Stay warm, stay safe, and
we will continue.
I was about to say, as I always say, I will continue, but since Ken ripped me off of that, I'll say, let it be. How's that? No, that's not a good one.
That's the Beatles.
All right, see you later.
Bye.